welcome back everybody to the Motive Racing channel. We are here for the Brazilian Grand Prix here tonight for season 6 here on the EA Sports F1 game. As that, if you didn't already know, was a hiccup. And we should be about to go racing here. Obviously we go straight into the race, no formation lap, so there's no real warning, there's no real preparation, it's just get in there and do your best. But Ian, what a sprint race we had just now, obviously in very rainy conditions, and now we've fast forwarded 24 hours and we've got the Grand Prix. So it could be a very different story, but here we go. Lights coming on now at the head of the grid. We're about to go racing here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. And Tezza there, what sort of start did he get? He didn't get a great one. Senna looking down the inside into turn one. It's a role reversal from what we saw at Las Vegas last week. Senna getting the better jump and leads through the centre assist for the first time. There's Tezza in second. Bennett's made his way through up into third place. We see somebody off there in the background. That's Papa Squanch there getting out of shape. You can see there he's around the outside of Nathan at the moment, but we've got MDG moving ahead of T. And any other position changes at the moment. We've got Andrew Pittsmith moving ahead of Justin, and we've got a virtual safety car already. What's gone on? Crazy Max. Yeah, Crazy Max has stopped it basically, almost to a walking pace there at the back. And was it Andrew or Binding Cove? Not sure.
It was, well, I know it's an Alpine because he's got no front wing.
Papa Squanch and Cameron both out of the race on this first lap. What on earth has happened with those two?
It was Binding Cove that has no front wing.
That is bizarre. So Binding Cove will have to come into the pits and get that fixed ASAP. A big shout out to MDG. What is he doing in second place?
Yeah.
Well done. I mean, was there? He's ghosting. Did he cut the corner or something? He's literally ghosting. I think there might be a bit of a glitch going on here. Oh,
It's his AI.
Yeah. How did he end up in second?
I really do not know.
Bit strange.
Maybe overtook in during the VSC.
Could have been. Must be. Yeah. And nonetheless, Senna's showing he's really got some pace here in the dry conditions. He's pulling away from Tezza. Nearly a second already separating these two. So clearly in the dry conditions, Senna's got a lot of confidence. We see MDG losing a place to Chris and Freddie. Chris up into 4th place from 8th on the grid, was it? Or was it? Oh no, he was P6 on the grid in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's up into 4th place here, but Chris will be wanting to reel in Senna and Tezza as quickly as he can. Bennett currently best of the rest, currently the thorn in the side here for Chris. Chris will be wanting to dispatch Bennett as quickly as he can and try and tear after the top two, because that's going to be, I think, where his race is going to be this evening. But yeah, it's all yet to happen here. We're all going to wait and see. But Chris, I think, has got a bit of favourite with the pace he had in the qualifying session before the sprint race. But saying that, you know, it can be a very different story in the Grand Prix. We know that for sure. Over the course of a race distance, he might not have the sort of speed that he has over one lap, so could be a waiting game here.
Yeah, I would say so. It's probably sometimes the best policy is just to wait and see how things play out before you try and make your move.
Yeah, 100% see what you're saying there. We've got Nathan on the back of the Grieve at the moment coming down the start-finish straight. Is he going to be able to make a move here into turn one? He's got the slipstream as MDG losing more places here. Nathan looking to the inside here into turn one. Is he going to send one? He looks up the inside. He's going to potentially go for it, but the Grieve covering that one off for the time being. Nothing doing there between those two. And it's as you were. Oh, MDG disconnected. That was why.
Oh.
But how? It still doesn't explain how he ended up in second.
No, that's a very strange one right there.
Yeah, it really is. But nonetheless, Tezza's picked up the pace here on lap 3. He is now all over the back of Senna here. So I was saying a few moments ago how Senna was pulling out the gap a little bit, and he goes a bit deep there to Senna. That might allow Tezza a look in. Tezza looking around the outside as they come through into this final section of the lap. Senna's going to have to tuck in behind him here. Tezza Mazza leads the race, but Senna will have DRS down this part of the track, so he'll be able to come back at him. Is he going to be close enough here to make the DRS work and make a move into turn one? Here we go, on board with the Ferrari. You can see the Aston Martin getting closer and closer and closer. You can see that Aramco rear wing moving more and more larger in the front of Senna's car. As you can see there, Senna looking down the inside. This is going to be job done here for him up into turn one, and Senna retaking the lead of this Brazilian Grand Prix. This is a battle that I reckon could be here to stay here over the course of this one.
Yeah, it's no matter what track these guys race at, these two are inseparable. They always seem to find a way to be able to battle each other no matter what.
In the meantime, Chris has got ahead of Bennett up into the final podium place, so he's continuing to cut his way through this pack like a hot knife through butter tonight. And whilst the top two battle, it's going to bring him more and more into that fight.
Andy, check F1 chat, please. Gary just tagged you.
Alright.
And I don't want to say anything without your opinion about it.
I wouldn't say.
Right, okay.
No, I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay.
As the Grievous moved ahead of MDG up into 11th. On board with Tezza here as he's trying to do a move here in the same place that Senna moved ahead of him on the previous lap, but this time Senna has the move held onto. I think Senna's gone for a bit more of a straight line speed setup, whereas Tezza's gone for more downforce, which is helping him through the slower parts of the track. That's why Tezza's got so much grip through the middle sector, but he's got the DRS here down the back straight. Here he goes, looking to the outside. Can Senna defend? No, he can't. Tezza moves himself through, back up into the lead here. These two continuing their cracking little battle that they got going on, but all the time whilst these two battle, Chris is closing that gap. You can see the gap was over 2 seconds to Chris on the previous lap. He's now only 1.5 seconds off of the race leader Tezza. Chris is flying and could be in this battle probably in the next lap or so.
It does seem to get a little bit of a wiggle going into that faster right-hander there. It must be running a setup similar to Senna where it's less downforce and more straight line speed.
Yeah, definitely so. I can see Cameron using some unusual dialect, something I haven't heard probably since I was a teenager. And again, he is that sort of age. But we've got Senna on the back of Tezza into turn one, but just a little bit too far away as Chris there doing the fastest lap of the race there, a 1:11.1, which is absolutely rapid there. He is now in this fight for the race lead. But is he going to be able to find a way through ahead of either of these two? Because he's now in a DRS train, which is a fight for the lead. And Senna still can't find a way through ahead of Tezza. Obviously, these two have been running back-to-back now for a couple of laps. They have made moves on each other, so they have swapped positions a couple of times. But for the time being, it's Tezza leading this race once again here in this Brazilian Grand Prix here tonight at Motive Racing.
Your voice is going funky, Dad.
I think it's alright on my end. It's always on your end. I know that because it's the internet.
There we go.
Yeah, it's the internet. Because on the recording it will sound fine, I know. Because Long Beach and the GT4s, on the recording you're saying your voice is going, and then on the recording it's fine, it's crystal clear. But I know what you mean though, it's the internet. Right. It'll be sorted out. Okay. It'll be sorted out from this weekend onwards because I'm getting my 3 router hopefully either tomorrow or the day after, but at least hopefully before Tuesday.
Check general chat, check F1 chat please.
Here we go, Senna making a move for the lead around the outside of Tezza, and Chris is there also making a move there up into second place. So Senna and Chris up into first and second, Tezza losing 2 places there into turn 1, but Chris now all over the back of Senna. Senna's going to have to defend here, coming down towards turn 4. He parks it on the inside. Chris is going to try and go around the long way here. Can he do it? He can't do it because Senna's got the inside line. He holds on to that one.
Check F1 chat, please. That's a start to annoy me.
I don't see how it can be a restart.
They'll put in videos.
Was it Nathan?
I think so.
I just don't see how we can restart the race.
I mean, if it was a perfectly avoidable situation, then that's the only grounds I can see.
Yeah, you
that
can't restart the race because if someone crashes into someone else, mate. What kind of precedent does that set? We've got Chris there making a move into the lead ahead of Senna, and Tezza there starting into second place. So Senna's lost 2 places there into turn 1. It shows how powerful the DRS here, and these 3 just continuing to give each other a bit of hell. T in the meantime has made the move on Sean up into 7th place. Andrew now on the back of Sean into turn 1, but he's too far away going through the corner at the moment. Here we are through the middle sector of the lap. It's Tezza still pressuring Chris as Sean's made the move on T up into 7th place. It's not on me to make the call for a restart, is it? It's on Matty anyway. It's not on me. I'm just a commentator.
Yeah.
Here we come into turn 1 again. Tezza here looking at the inside and gets the move done on Chris. Senna just waiting in the wings behind these guys at the moment, but it was a lovely move there from Tezza. Now Chris might try and come back in him again though. As we come down this little straight again, here we go to the outside. Here goes Chris. Round the outside he goes into turn 4 and he's back up into the lead here. And it's chopping and changing between these 3 drivers as Tezza now looking back to the outside here. As into 5 we go. I can't do it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty fun watching 3 people race to the lead to this extent. Normally, I'm not saying that the Tezza Senna battles aren't fun, but it's nice to see someone else finally being able to get up there and battle with them.
It's more just the fact that you've got, it widens the scope for a battle, because if one person were to make a mistake or mess up their strategy, then at least you got the guarantee of somebody else being in there as well. Albeit it's quite hard to call it because it changes from one lap to the next, so you don't, after a few times, you don't really get as excited anymore because you see it every lap. But Tezza here making a move for the lead. Here we go once again, but now Senna's going to try and get both of them here into turn 1. Look at that. That was an Indy 500 type slingshot there from Senna. Up into the lead he goes. Saw the opportunity, down the inside he went. Similar to Alonso's move on Webber and his teammate Massa into Lagos a few years ago. I remember seeing that, but Tezza there around the outside of Senna up into turn 4 and gets himself back up into the lead again. This is incredible racing here between these 3. It's literally one lap after the next. It's like a NASCAR race at the moment between these 3.
Yeah, Nathan's asking for an invite. This is annoying.
Yeah, but aren't we hearing reports that he's the one who... Plus he's out of the race anyway, so what good would it do him if he gets an invite?
I do not know, he's just asking for one.
Yeah, but he's out of the race, so no. Tell him he's DNF'd. Here we are then, on board with Chris as they come down the start finish straight here. You can see the Senna's got the DRS on Tezza as they come towards turn 1 again. Chris looking to the inside, not this time. No moves this time around between these 3 guys. It's the first time in a few laps that we haven't seen anybody make a move into turn 1 as Crazy Max has dropped it and has dropped behind Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt up into P12. So here goes Senna on the back of Tezza into turn 4.
Go.
Down the inside goes Senna and takes the lead again. Chris still waiting behind these 2 as Tezza's going to try and come back at him into turn 6, is he? No.
Not too far back.
But I'll tell you what, it looks like Senna's got the best straight line speed because whenever he's leading, he's got the best chance of holding on to it. When Chris is leading, he usually gets overtaken, and when Tezza's leading, sometimes he gets overtaken. When Senna's leading, he's always the least likely in terms of his vulnerability in that DRS, which means I think he's probably got low downforce.
As we're actually starting to approach a back marker that looks like MDG maybe? That's an Aston, is that an Aston Martin? Yeah, that's MDG. What is going on with that? He's like an AI drive.
Yeah, there's an AI driver in the car, 100%.
Fuck.
Tezza's still too far. He's still too far away from Senna here. I mean, it looks like Senna's got such good straight line speed, but he's getting good drive out of Young Sao as well. But I'll tell you what, he didn't get a good drive out of the Senna S's. And here goes Tezza looking to make a move here for the lead, but he was stuck behind him there, had nowhere to go. Still getting the move done though into turn 4. Round the outside he goes. Tezza up into the lead. Excellently done there from him. He had to get out of the throttle a little bit there, down the back straight, because he could see that he was going to run into the back of Senna. But he managed to navigate his way around. But Tezza's trying to come back at him here into turn 6. Round the outside goes Senna. What a move there from Senna. That was ballsy, but he pulled it off. Great stuff there from him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the fact that he's using the actual Senna name must be giving him a little bit of extra grip out there today.
Yeah, definitely around a track like Interlagos, where Senna obviously had a famous win where he was stuck in sixth gear for the final part of the race. He drove the entire race in sixth gear. Oh no, he didn't actually. Did he win that race, or was it? Oh no, Chris has lost it. Chris has
Oh
got
no!
sideways. Oh, and Tezza, no, Tezza as well. What happened?
Oh,
The camera shot missed them as they were going through. Oh my. So Chris down to fourth place. Bennett's got himself into third. Tez's got it going, but Bennett's going to get a run on him coming down the straight. So here goes Bennett looking to the outside, and he's going to try and go around the outside of Tezza here, and he's got the move done up into second place. But Bennett will be counting his chickens there. Chris in the meantime into the pits, and Senna has been left with, well, I don't want to tempt fate, but an easy win maybe.
well, you know, uh, we can't really rule out any wrongdoings. We can't rule out anything bad possibly happening. You know, we can't really do much in terms of saying it could be an easy one because we're seeing things where they look that they're going to be a done deal, and something happens that just ruins it all.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose we shouldn't be suggesting that it's all over yet. As you say, anything can happen. It's still a long way to go, but based on what we've just seen there, that looks like Senna would need to have a monumental mess up here in order to lose this race. But Tezza has already got back ahead of Bennett and is already a second ahead of him, so that goes through the pace that Tezza's got here. Chris came straight into the pits after that collision and has put a set of softs on, so he's doing a two-stop by the looks of it. And I imagine we'll be putting a set of probably the mediums on for the final stint, I would have thought.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to say this now, you're actually correct. He did actually win the 1991 Brazilian GP stuck in 6th gear.
Yeah, I did. I knew I was right about him doing a race in sixth gear. I wasn't sure if he
Aye.
won it or if he got like a podium or something, but I knew that he did it at the Brazilian Grand Prix. I knew that he raced in a. He obviously finished the race in sixth gear, and I knew it was a substantial portion of the race as well. It wasn't like it was just on the final couple of laps. It was like I think it was like the final 20 laps or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of the race. I mean, albeit back then, I think you only had six gears actually back then.
Yep.
Um, in a way, it kind of makes it more impressive. In a way, it doesn't because obviously the cars were different back then. I mean, you could actually drive them in sixth gear, and they wouldn't be terrible. But it just different time. You can't really compare, but still a phenomenal achievement. As we see Senna into the pits here at the end of lap 13.
Because back then, gearboxes for the F1 cars were a lot more like the traditional road car
Fully-
gearboxes.
Fully manual, they were.
Yeah, they were more they were more geared towards the real world, the actual road car version of
You
gearboxes.
pulled it back to go up a gear. You pushed it forward to go down a gear.
No, there was an actual 6 speed that you had to get. It's very much like a real like a normal road car.
Oh, is it really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
there was just less movement in the stick.
I couldn't even imagine doing that in a race car. That's just beyond belief. Like, you'd be driving with one hand most of the time.
Because if it was just push forward to go up a gear, then that's sequential. That's not clutch.
That's true. Yeah, you got a point. I mean, that's incredible.
It is. No wonder he was absolutely. No wonder he needed help to lift the trophy and on the podium.
Yeah. Did he only win the Brazilian Grand Prix once? I think
Twice.
he won it twice. Ah, that was his first though, wasn't it? I think because
Yeah.
I think it was such a big deal for him. Did he win it again in '93 or '92 or '93?
Correct.
'93 it was, yeah.
Yeah, because the year after, that's when he died at Imola.
Well, I knew it wouldn't be '94, but
Yeah.
not because he did actually race. I think the Brazilian Grand Prix was actually he raced at I think Australia. No, it wasn't Australia. It was South Africa and Brazil were the races before San Marino, before Imola. So he did actually race it in '94, but he retired. He spun out. I think he got pole because everyone was saying that season that Williams was basically a death trap, and it turned out to be quite literally. But
Yeah.
it was so unreliable, and it would spin out. It had so many problems with it, and it crashed out of the South Africa race and obviously the subsequent Brazilian Grand Prix. We all know what happened in the race after that, but yeah, he came. Well, I didn't know it was '93, but yeah, it was quite late on because obviously he had established himself as a top driver way before. Because obviously it's hard to think. Obviously, when you won the race twice, you think to yourself, oh, he had plenty of success there. But obviously by '91, he was already an established driver. He was already, I think, a three-time world champion by the time he won his first Brazilian
two-time.
Grand Prix. Oh, was he two-time? He was nearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he was already an established driver. It'd be a bit like Max Verstappen having never won the Dutch Grand Prix. Just try and imagine that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
Or Hamilton winning the British Grand Prix.
It wouldn't. Well, it's not so much Hamilton because he's a seven-time world champion. He's been around for 17
But I'm
years.
talking about at the start of his career.
Oh, yeah, because he won it in his second season, so he never really had that tag of having never won his home race. But Senna held that tag for a long time. For the first part of his career, it was the one that was missing from his resume, was his home Grand Prix, and that was a big deal for him in '91, getting that ticked off. And the reason why I remember it is from the Senna sort of docu-film. Which I don't know if you've seen that. I've never sat down and watched all of it because I'm terrible at watching any movies or any documentaries. Generally, I sit there and watch bits of it and then tune out and do something else. But I do try and pay attention to them. But one bit that always stands out to me is the Brazilian fans with their ole, 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 Senna, Senna. I don't know why. It actually gave me goosebumps watching that segment. Like, it's just beautiful, the passion that they had for not just the sport but also for him as a driver as well. He's an incredibly popular driver in his home nation. I guess I haven't really seen a British driver who's captured the hearts like that. Hamilton, Button, Russell. I haven't really seen anyone kind of be that
There's
sort
not
of
been as
that
much
figure.
love for a driver since him.
Yeah, not so much of an icon. I think James Hunt probably was, but obviously that was 20 years before I was even a fetus. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the passion, maybe it's not there, or whether it's just the lack of an icon. I don't know.
And it's also at that point,
obviously Hamilton to me
drivers
is.
were.
Hamilton to me is, but obviously I've loved Hamilton. He was the reason why I got into F1. I've always idolised Lewis Hamilton. From a British standpoint, he doesn't seem to get much love. Speaking from a neutral point of view, he doesn't seem to get the love that I think you could say he deserves. I don't know. It's hard to say because, could you say that he deserves it when it doesn't appear to be the case? I don't know.
In my own opinion, I don't feel like he does deserve it just because he has had that luck of. Don't get me wrong, he had the achievements he has made in Formula One is amazing, but part of his success has came from the fact that his team has had so much great cars that they've created, so many just overall fantastic race cars that they've made, and without them I feel like Hamilton probably wouldn't have got as many championships as he has.
So the thing why I see it a little bit differently is because I was watching Formula One. So in the first two seasons of Hamilton's career, 07 and 08, he had a car that was very, very good. It wasn't dominant like his Mercedes, but it could compete for wins. It was as quick as the Ferrari, probably a bit slower than the Ferrari in 08, but definitely as quick, if not a bit quicker in 07. And in both of those seasons, he was challenging for the championship in his first two seasons in Formula One. But if, like me, I was watching Formula One, an avid fan in my sort of like early teens between 09 and 2013, and I watched F1 every season, following all the races. And during that time, he was driving a McLaren that was it was terrible. It was not a contender. In 2010 and 2011, it was not a contender. 2012, it was a different story. It was the reliability that let it down that season. But in those seasons, he was still scoring poles. He was still scoring wins. He was still able to he was often Vettel's number one challenger. He would often split the Red Bulls and be in between. Oh, it's just in there!
Oh!
Getting into the back of Freddie into turn one, spins out onto the grass, and has lost a place there to Chris as well. So Justin down to 7th place. He's got Bennett and Andrew coming up on the scene, so he could lose out to them as well. But I was saying about Hamilton, he was Mark Webber was like Sebastian Vettel's number 2 at Red Bull. Obviously, he hated being called that, but let's be honest, it's the truth.
Yeah.
And I saw so many times Hamilton was often the one that would get in between them. He was the one who could sometimes give Vettel a fight. And I've been a Formula One fan for long enough to see the similarities between Verstappen's dominance and Vettel's dominance. They are very, very similar.
Yeah.
In a sense, the difference between Vettel and Verstappen, from what I've seen, is the fact that Vettel could have off days. He had some days where he wasn't on top form, and Verstappen just simply does not have off days. He's like a machine. He does not have bad days at the office. If something goes wrong, it's because of some factor that he cannot control. He just never, ever have a bad day. It's not in his psyche. It's not in his arsenal to have an off day.
Definitely not.
It's not an option.
No.
And you've got to give him credit for that, because he's just it's robotic, and it can get quite frustrating for viewers, but it's incredible. As you see, Justin's out of the race, so Justin has crashed here on lap 20, and Chris has made the move on Freddie up into P5. Oh, it's Freddie almost loses it there, coming out of turn 4 into 5, just about holds onto it though. That was a close call there for him, but is able to continue on his way for the time being. But yeah, watching those years of Hamilton being in an inferior car, and if you look back at 2012, where it was the only season where he had a car that was capable of matching Red Bull on pace, and his reliability was absolutely shocking. He had 3 retirements in that season when he was leading the race. That's 25 points out of the window. That's 75 points out of the window just with those 3 races, and also the fact that he gave away points to whoever went on and won the race as well. It's probably 80 odd points that were thrown away due to issues that were completely out of his control. And I guess you could say Vettel that season as well had a dodgy alternator, because I do remember that vividly being a big thorn in his side. But yeah, watching Hamilton through those seasons made me appreciate when he was winning. And even now, when he's now in a car that isn't so great, I look back to those seasons, around 10, 12 years ago, and I think, although it's a different stage in his career now, because he hasn't got time on his side like he did then, I can still see him coming back from these last couple of seasons. I can still see him rising above these, not the best, these setbacks that he's had in the last couple of seasons. Although you can't really compare, because back then he was still able to nab the odd win here and there. The problem is that Verstappen is in the quickest car, and he's also probably on balance the best driver, and the fact that he is so consistent, so it barely ever gives anybody a look in. So whereas Hamilton's been there in second to follow him home. Also, the one thing as well is that the Mercedes strengths are quite similar to the Red Bull's strengths. So generally the tracks that the Mercedes is good around, the Red Bull is dominant around. It's just the way it is. It just seems to be the case. Because they're both good on their tyres, they're both good on high tired circuits, albeit the Red Bull's got good straight line speed, the Mercedes is average at best. But they're good through the slow speed corners. It's just a bit of a mix up really, and unfortunately they both seem to have the same strengths, which means that and the Red Bull is just that little bit quicker and that little bit better.
Yeah, it's also, I feel like the whole 2021 season did hit him quite a lot. It's
I just want to say Tez is going on the soft tyres now, surely, because he's got 13 laps. Can he put the soft tyres on from here, actually? That's a question. Oh, he's got to queue up behind his teammate. Oh no, MDG came into the pits at the same time as Teza Muzza. I think that's now thrown away any chance. I don't think he can catch Senna now. He's now over 20 seconds behind. It was going to be difficult as it was. Chris there moving through up into third. He can go to the end on his hard, as can Senna, but Chris is 18 seconds behind Senna. I think Senna's got this in the bag, but Tezza, he's on the softs, so he did put the softs on.
Yeah.
He's got to do 13 laps on a set of softs. That would be a hell of a feat.
Yeah, it's also probably just trying to go and push for the fastest lap. I don't know who has the fastest lap at the moment, but I don't really see him being able to claw back the time to be able to fight Senna during the closing stage of this race.
We know how good Tezza is on the tyres, don't we? He is famed for being kind to his tyres, so he's somebody who can make it work. But 13 laps on a set of softs, even around a track like Interlagos, which we know isn't too bad on the tyres, I think that might be a bit a step too far. I think that he may have just gone a bit overboard here as he's about to ghost through his teammate who was very kindly there to hold him up in his pit stop as well, which would have just made the task just a little bit more difficult for him. I reckon a podium's definitely on the cards. I reckon even a second place could be on the cards. He's only 8 seconds behind Mark Bowe. If he can look after these soft tyres, then who knows? He just needs to pump in the laps here. He'll probably breeze past Chris because Chris is on the hards. So he won't have too many problems with Chris. He shouldn't have any problems with Mark if he's able to catch him. But yeah, I think it's going to be a case of trying to get on the podium here for Tezza. Is he going to have to come in for another pit stop here before the end of this race? Is he going to do maybe a 6-lap stint and a 7-lap stint and just push like crazy on each of those laps? That could be a possibility here. As we see Freddie making a move on Andrew up into 6th place despite being on hard tyres compared to Andrew's softs. And Freddie there, upper position there. But yeah, I think Tezza, is he going to push like crazy for the next 6 laps, put another set of softs on and then push like crazy for another 7 laps? Or is he going to nurse them for the next 13? I mean, that's a fine balance to weigh up. But if I were him right now, I'd probably try and just take the life out of these tyres, put another set on, see where it ends up.
Yeah, at this point it doesn't really say. It doesn't have anything to lose at all because he's already the championship winner. So yeah, at this point he has nothing to lose. It's just at this point he's just proving himself as he does to go ahead and take the fastest lap.
There's a back marker there. Oh no, it's Chris there who went straight on at the turn 1. So was he letting him past, or I think it was a mistake there from Chris into turn 1. Tezza up into clean air, continuing on his way. But yeah, he's 6 seconds behind Mark Bowe at the moment. He'll probably catch him just as he's about to come in for another pit stop. But then I guess can he put another set on and then chase after him? Be a hell of a task. He'd probably need to. I don't know. He could catch up to him maybe a bit before he comes in. Depends how quickly he goes in these next couple of laps. But yeah, it'd be a hell of a push for Tezza. I think the podium's going to be difficult because if he goes to the end on these tyres, they're going to be hanging on by a thread at the end. I don't think they're going to have any tread left if he tries to go to the end on these.
I don't think so either. I think he's going to be struggling quite hard towards the end of this.
We see Matty pit into the pits here at the end of lap 26. He's now coming in, so he's back out onto the track on a set of soft tyres here. But I doubt that the fastest lap attempt's going to prove to be of any fruitfulness, because I think that at this point there'll be somebody else that will try and do the same thing. So I think anybody putting soft on at this point is probably going to be a bit disappointed come the end of the race. But Tezza continued to take time out of Mark Bowe. Was it Tezza who did another fastest lap there? Was it somebody else? It was Tezza, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Tezza, was it in the 109s?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting quicker and quicker here, and he's bringing that guy to Mark Bowe as we see a McLaren parked by the side of the road. That is still the car of Justin. No, it's not. It's Mark Bowe. It's Mark Bowe. That's Mark Bowe. What? Oh, I mean, I thought it wouldn't. I should have known it wasn't Justin. Yeah, he's stuck. He can't move. What on earth is happening here?
That's
oh
fun.
my god. Oh no, he's alright. Oh. There we go.
Doing a little bit of an Oscar Piastri type impression there.
Yeah, here we go. So he's back underway again, but yeah, it's going to be gutting there for him. But in the meantime, we've still got Senna out the front leading this race. That promotes Tezza now up into second place. He's now into clean air, but I'm thinking he's going to have to come in again because 13 laps on the soft tyres. I wouldn't say impossible, but I would say extremely unlikely.
Yeah.
As I'm just checking to see what
and I've now got the cat on my lap. And as cats do, they expose their butt to your face.
As long as your cat's not rubbing its balls on your face, I think it's kind of okay.
It's going to be quite difficult considering it's a female.
Oh right, okay. I swear you said your cat was a boy.
No, female.
I was sure you said your cat was a.
No. You're probably thinking about the mum's dog. Because that's the last time I spoke about any animal.
Oh. No, I wasn't making assumptions there. I genuinely did believe that
Yeah.
your cat was a boy. I don't know why. That's weird. But yeah. Never mind.
You're weird.
Why?
Why not?
Am I weird?
There's nothing wrong with being weird.
Why are you calling me weird? What have I done to warrant that?
Nothing, you're just weird.
Why?
Why not?
What do you mean?
There's nothing wrong with being weird.
It's a bit
It means you're
unnecessary.
different.
A bit unnecessary.
You're unnecessary.
Uncalled for. Did I
You're
ask?
uncalled for.
Did I ask?
No, but I don't really care if you did or not. I just wanted to say it.
Do I care?
I don't know, do you?
Look at his face.
You
Does
seem
his
a- you
face
do
look
seem a
bothered?
bit you seem a bit defensive about it, so I have a feeling you are.
Does his face look bothered?
I don't look at your face because I'd rather keep my eyes in the sockets. I'd rather
Yeah,
not have
does
them
his
burnt.
face look bothered?
I don't know.
Tell me, look at my face. Does it look bothered?
No,
Do you want to start?
I think it does look bothered because you seem to be a bit defensive about this.
Do you want to fight?
Bring it on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, bring
You
it
want
on.
to smoke? Do you want to have a scrap?
Oh Christ, you could definitely tell you're from London, from down there, London. Oh God.
Sorry, I'm confused. Did you want like a scrap or?
Bring it on, bitch.
Bitch. Oh, okay. Nah, it's alright. I can't bother to go to Scotland. It costs too much to get up there.
Yeah, and plus you want to be able to understand half of this anyway.
No, I can understand you perfectly fine. Oh, Bennett's out of the race.
Oh no.
Safety
Anyway.
car. Never mind. Well, let's jump on board with Sean and see what happened anyway. So we can enthrall you all with the information. Oh, I saw some debris on the left through turn 2. So he must have got onto the power a bit too heavy coming out of turn 1 and then probably binned it into the opposite wall. So that's a safety car. That is going to open up a can of worms here, because surely some drivers are going to come in to put some fresh soft tyres on now. You would think. Senna's obviously going to be one of them because he's leading the race by 14 seconds and it's got a good gap back to Tezza here. So Senna's going to be surely ducking in. Yep, he is.
Yep.
Tezza, I'm sure, will be wanting fresher tyres than he's got on because they're not going to do it for him in a battle to the flag with Senna as things stand. Matty Pitt coming in, so's T, so's Crazy Max. Tezza ducking into the pits now. Chris, this is going to be a lifeline for Chris because he was going to be going to the end on some hard tyres. He was on a race to nothing here, wasn't he? But now he's got a chance. Andrew Pittsmith coming around the final section here. Is he going to throw a set of softs on now? Yes, he is. I think they're pretty much all going to be throwing a set of softs on. The only drivers who probably won't need to from the Grieve downwards because they've all got relatively fresh tyres, whereas I think everybody else will be well advised to get themselves in. Sean now coming in as well, so that is now the entire pack on fresh soft tyres for what's going to be the final 4 laps of this Brazilian Grand Prix.
Interesting.
It's going to be a nail-biting finish. Oh, his team's got a 3-second time penalty.
Of course it does.
So just to reiterate, the entire field on soft tyres for the final 4 laps of this season here, for Season 6 on the PlayStation platform, here at Motive Racing. Our F1 League is actually full for next season, unfortunately, to those of you watching. But if you do race on ACC, on the PlayStation 5 version, or if you race on Project Cars 2, we've still got spaces for this season. We've still got 5 weeks left for those seasons, currently, at time of recording. So if you're interested in jumping in for our seasons, or if you want to join for next season, if you want to get ahead of the game, start preparing, then obviously you can join us on Discord and you can get involved with the community a little bit. And yeah, see what you're made of. All the races are commentated on live by myself and Emo Guy. We've got a few others waiting in the wings who also do commentaries as well. We've got a few other guys. Geryon is now getting involved with it. Mike's done a little bit as well. And potentially we could be getting a new commentator, an old face who hasn't been here for a long time. Could be returning as well. So we've got a few of us here now who can take you through the action on the channel. And obviously we do the comms live, so they're a bit more authentic. It feels more real, feels more genuine. The reactions and the just everything that we do, it's all happening at this moment. So we're watching this race. We have no idea what's about to happen. Obviously at this moment in time we do, that you're watching this, but at the time that I'm speaking to you right now, the time that I said this, I have no idea who's going to win this race. But we have some idea. It's probably going to be one of these three, Senna, Tezza or Chris, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah. I don't really see anyone else being able to challenge them at this point, apart from maybe Chris.
Well, yeah, I was saying it was going to be one of them three. It's going to be definitely one of those three. Although Chris has got a 3-second time penalty here. I just realised.
You've only just realised. How could you only just realise? What disappointment is that?
I'm so sorry.
It's despicable!
I'm so sorry.
It's despicable!
Never mind, anyway, who cares? Right. Oh, you're a fuck. Anyway, so we've got Senna and Tezza here with Chris waiting in the wings, but we know Chris has a 3-second time penalty, and it looks like we're going for another lap on the safety car. Are you kidding me?
Chris has a penalty because I think he might have hit into the back of Tezza, because he's put into the chat saying sorry. They said he didn't notice he was braking so early.
That was that must have been the collision into Young Cell when they both spun out.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what, Senna's going to be fuming about this safety car because he had this race done and dusted. It was in the bag, and now he's got to now defend from two charging esports level drivers in his mirrors. Obviously, he himself is at that level. I'd say Chris's esports level. I'd say Senna and Tezza are very, very close. And the only reason why Chris is an esports level, and I'd say maybe those guys are only close, is because Chris's 1 lap pace is insane. But over his race pace, I'd say these guys can match him.
Yeah, I would have to say so.
So who is going to win this final Grand Prix of the season here at Motive Racing, here at Interlagos?
Stay tuned and find out.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Obviously, these comms are live, so we don't know who's going to win. Although this is being released probably on Sunday, maybe Monday or Tuesday if I find myself at a bit of a loose end, or rather.
You're probably wrong.
Yeah. But here we go then, out of the final corner. Senna's got to wait for that safety car to get to a safe distance before he can think about getting this race underway. Once the safety car's on that pit entry, then we will be officially up to Senna when he puts his foot down to the floor and we can go racing. Here we go then. This is it. For the final time this season, it is green, green, green. We are racing here down towards turn 1 as we've got Chris here already sizing up Tezza Mazza into turn 1. He's going to look down the inside. Have you seen him ghosting through the Alpha Tauri there, the lap car of Crazy Max? But he makes them. But Tezza Mazza holds on to that second place there ahead of Chris as they come through out of the centre S's and down the back straight towards turn 4. You can see he's now looking to the inside. Chris has got a great run there on Tezza Mazza as down the inside he goes. He's going to make that move surely, is he? Tezza's trying to fight it all the way, but Chris gets the move done up into second place, and that's going to help Senna because Chris has got a penalty. So no matter what Chris does here, he's not going to win this race. So Chris getting ahead of Tezza is exactly what Senna needed.
Yep, definitely. At this point, I don't even see why Chris is fighting. He knows he's going. I don't feel like he's going to be able to pull out that 3 seconds in order to keep second place. At this point,
The target's got to be a podium.
Yeah, at this point, it is just going to be third place. I understand a racer's going to race, but
Yeah.
at this point,
I don't blame him at all for getting his elbows out and trying to make the positions, because obviously if he gets ahead of them, he's got more chance of pulling out the gap to Andrew. Saying that, I don't think there's much doubt about that one, because Andrew's got a 6-second penalty himself and the gap's already nearly 3 seconds anyway. Senna though, fast lap of the race on his fresh soft tyres, leading the race, has got a clear track in front of him, no surprise there. But coming into the final 2 laps of this season here at Motive Racing, can Chris get a bit of pride on and get the win here ahead of Senna, or is Senna, or get the win on the track should I say, or is Senna going to hold on and restore a little bit of his confidence? Obviously he's lost this season's championship last week. Tezza wrapped it up with a round to spare with a fantastic performance, a brilliant win in Las Vegas, but Senna could go out on a high this season and could take that confidence going into next season if he can just bring this home in one piece and in the position he's currently in, obviously.
Yeah, it's just about trying to keep that
Senna
position.
got Freddie down the inside of the Grieve. Goes for a dive bomb there as the Grieve trying to hold it around the outside as they bang wheels a little bit there. Freddie's going to have to stake it around the outside. He's going to the inside here for this next section as here he goes once again sending it there, but the Haas is keeping himself there. He can't do it any longer. The Grieve there has to concede and Freddie makes the move up into P5, but Malkbo's now all over the back of the Grieve as they come into Young Sal, but still can't make it happen. Will he get DRS this time? I don't think he will, because we haven't done enough laps, have we, or have we? I can't remember. I don't think we have, no. No, DRS is able on this next lap here. Oh, there's a crash! Oh, there's a huge crash. Malkbo there. There's DNF'd here in the final race of the season. That guy, Sean, has as well. Obviously, we're going to carry on because there's no safety cars at this stage in the race. Senna, though, leading ahead of Chris. Chris has closed the gap by 3/10 on that last lap. But is he going to run out of time to make this move and get the win on the track here? Tezza's keeping up to the back of these guys as well. In fact, Tezza's now got a 3-second time penalty as well. So, I'll tell you what, if Senna gets a penalty, then that could give Chris a chance to take the win, but I don't think he's going to. But final lap of this race. This is it then. I've got Matty Pitt all over the back of Freddie as they're coming out of turn 5. But Freddie, for the time being, looks like he's safe there in that one. We've only got 9 drivers left in this race. We've had 3 drivers crash out on the final lap of the race. The Grieve, or rather they were just coming up to the final lap of the race. The Grieve has also crashed out, but here we come through the final few corners. Senna has got Chris absolutely hounding the back of him. Chris is going to try and make the move here and get the win on the track, but I don't think he's going to be able to here because Senna seems to have the run, and we know what his straight line speed is like as well. Senna has got absolutely rocket ship straight line speed in that Ferrari. Here we come up towards the line. It's going to be Senna for the final time this season. He's going to come towards the line, and Chris is going to run. Oh, Chris is going to do it. Chris takes the lead, but Senna gets the win. Senna, your final race winner of the season here for season 6. Run up in the championship, but gets the win here tonight at Interlagos. It's Senna the winner ahead of Chris in second, followed by Tezza Mazza in third. Andrew gets mugged by Freddie due to the penalties there, so Freddie 4th, Andrew 5th. Matty Pitt gets P6 in the end ahead of T, who finishes this one in 7th place. Crazy Max actually finished the race in a lobby full of drivers that crashed out. Crazy Max obviously renowned for not finishing races. But he managed to finish tonight, so fair play. But what a race that was, Ian. And well done to Senna on taking the win, albeit Chris, if he didn't have that penalty, would have been your race winner tonight. With that 3-second penalty, he loses out.
Yeah, it's extremely unfortunate. He'll definitely be kicking himself because obviously had the situation that led up to him gaining that penalty. It was extremely unfortunate, but it just proves that he does have the pace to be able to take it to these guys.
He absolutely does. Your driver of the day for tonight?
I'm going to go to Chris.
Chris obviously on his cameo appearance tonight. I'm going to go to Senna because he was just the most disciplined driver out there today. Didn't pick up any penalties. He looked like he was also in control of the race. Stayed out of trouble for the most part. Got unlucky to even have a battle on his hands in that final stint because of the safety car. But yeah, didn't put a foot wrong here. For most of it, got to give it to him. Obviously he's back at a grid start in the first race, did a really good job there to finish high up, so yeah, give it to him. But yeah, that's your podium, that's your lot, guys. That's it for this season. Hopefully to the drivers watching this back, you've enjoyed our coverage over the course of this season. Myself and Ian will be back next season. We've renewed our contracts in the commentary booth, and we will be bringing you the action when season 7 gets underway. I wouldn't take it as gospel that there's no spaces, because I don't know, there might be a couple of dropouts after this one, we've heard rumours. But yeah, from us, it's a very good night. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soonish.
Good day.